the Mental Health Foundation,
Yeah.
and you listen some of the podcasts I've done before with other groups. How important do you think to actually use the podcast to raise awareness, especially on the Mental Health Foundation, especially this podcast, the Siyakhuluma podcast?
I think that's a brilliant idea to recording a podcast for a couple of reasons. One of the most important things that I think that is really good is that, for example, for our project, we are working for the refugee asylum seekers to have a voice. So you can see that the main concept of this project is having a voice. So what will be better than to recording a podcast, recording their voice? Yeah. So especially for those who have been successful through their journey, who can be inspire other people like Kavan, or we have got so many other people who came to this country who've got a very brilliant background and they couldn't have chance to make their wish true in their home country, but by their all resilience, their hardworking, and of course the support that they got, they just make their wish true. And I think by recording podcasts, we can promote this journey from them, and it can be inspiring for other people as well who can listen to this podcast. And the other reason I think that in podcast recording, people can speak in a natural way, and they can share their journey in a really realistic way, and when people hearing to them, it's not just a short part of recording. In podcast, you cannot pretend, you can be yourself. So I think for people for audience who can hear to the podcast, it's really inspiring and also very close to their nature, or very realistic. So they can touch what they have been passed to the people to just reach to this point. And of course for their mental health as well, who comes here to record their podcast. We know that for mental health, when people start to speak, for them is a kind of therapy.
Yes.
Because sometimes it reminds them that, okay, I came through this way. Now I'm in this point. Sometimes in life is so hard and tough to us, and we cannot listen to ourselves. But I think this recording again remind, for example, I can see that Kavan may experience that when he just speak about his journey. It was a very positive point that remind him, okay, I was on that point and now I'm here. So this journey is beautiful, I think. So, and you yourself. So I think that as a person who record a podcast, I really like the way that you have communicate with people, and you start the conversation and reach to the point that we want. For example, this podcast was about hope.
Yes.
Hope is a positive, but sometimes some people think that it's really idealistic topic. But in depth, I know that how it can be motivate people, because if we don't have hope, we cannot go forward. So we can keep forward by keeping hope in ourselves. So it's not an concrete concept. It's real in our life, that we are believing something in ourselves. And as Kavan mentioned, I think hope is belief. Hope is your goal about the future. And I really appreciate the things that you are doing, Nico. So I think it's a really great idea to recording a podcast and inspire other people, not just only by the positive points. It's also about what's the journey they have came through to reach the point that to this point that they are in. Especially for the Mental Health Foundation, we are working for the people who belong in the marginalized group, and they didn't have a chance to have a voice. So I think our vision in Mental Health Foundation is that everyone deserves a good mental health. And we are working on the prevention of mental health. So we know that from our research, from our previous project that we have done, that having a voice can prevent mental health issue. Because when you are involved in a decision-making process, it helps you to have a voice. And by having a voice, I wanted to back to the marginalized group. Refugee asylum seekers sometimes didn't have the chance to have a voice in different sectors. So by giving them chance to have a voice, we can prevent their mental health issue, which is really important for our organization and foundation. And I appreciate you a lot. Thanks very much. I myself really enjoyed this session we had together.
You're welcome. I want to thank this man here for you to come and talk to us.
I like the way you ask me questions and you keep the conversation alive. It's very good to do the podcast with someone who know how to control the situation and get into the tough part.
It's good. I can feel it's a skill as well. Like I can feel your energy as well. Like trying to get right. I'm also trying to get right. Everyone's trying to get right. But you have to get to that state of mind, like whatever it is, I'm doing this. This is what I want to make. I want to make a podcast. But in my own experience, when you do podcasts, I noticed that we always, even me, I'm still on the process of learning. We always want to get the right energy in the same time. It's not going to happen because you share your story. I'm listening. I'm also asking the questions. But when I'm asking the questions, I'm also caring about the project. The project is, if we go and do something let's say we meet in the cafe, the shop cafe, maybe it's also good. I'm not suggest we do podcast in the cafe. No. This is a beautiful place, man. Look at this. This is
nice.
This is nice. Like I also like everyone deserves good mental health, and everyone deserves to talk about. So when I close out. So thank you so much, guys. Yeah, that's really good.
Thank you.